Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a long overdue update for my project Level Up as well as No Pan Left Behind. I have combined these two projects into one video. It just helps me out. Project Level Up was created by Sophie Alexandra. She is of course linked in my description box. I am randomizing my palettes for this project, so some of them are No Pan Left Behind, meaning I need to use every single shade once, and some of them are Project Level Up, which depending on the level determines how many times I need to use each shade and how many pans I need to hit. So if you are interested in watching my update for both of these projects, then keep on watching. I am quite sick today. I was more sick yesterday. I am feeling good energy-wise, but I am very congested. My nose and like above my lip is red and chapped, so I am so sorry for both my voice and my appearance, but I really wanted to film this update because I have some things to update you on. As per usual, I am going to start off with the No Pan Left Behind portion of this video. So I'm working on 5 palettes in total, but 3 of them are No Pan Left Behind. The one that's been in the longest is the ColourPop Smoke and Whistles. This is a 30 pan palette, so very large, and it has these springy rosy tones. As of my last update, I needed to use 17 more shades in this palette, and I have officially accomplished my goal of No Pan Left Behind. This was really great to use coming into spring. I got a lot of use out of this like February, March, April, and I really like the ColourPop formula. I really like their mega palettes, but as I'm sure we know, and I knew when I bought it, there are some redundancies in here. I mentioned last time that I wish there were more pink toned mattes, because there are some like very cool toned browns as well as some more taupey kind of mattes in here, but a very limited number of what I would call a pink matte. They all have that like cool rosy undertone, but I just found myself missing a bit more pink mattes, especially to go with the abundance of very pink shimmers in this palette. There's a lot of very pink shimmers. There's also some more like mauvey, purpley, taupey leading ones, which were a lot of fun to play with, and worked with some other eyeshadows that I am working on in other projects. So this will be rolling out, but I'm happy I got quite a lot of use on this. I think I used this palette 8 or more times, which that feels good because a lot of my palettes don't get that many uses over the course of a year, so but I am ready to put this away. Next I have miscellaneous singles here. I did include this on my roulette wheel because they do get severely neglected. I have 13 miscellaneous individual shadows in here. That's liquid, cream shadows, pigments, as well as like potted individual shadows. As of the last update, I hadn't used these at all yet, which is pretty telling. I will put in a picture of them laid out because I have now used 4 of them, and having a picture like this is easier for me to track if I can check them off. So I'm going to share the 4 I have used. First, I used the 2 oldest singles in my collection. These are some of the oldest makeup products in my collection, period. Oh dear. I have the Urban Decay single eyeshadow in the shade Sin. This has gotten quite a lot of use from me over the last couple of years because it has been the oldest product in my makeup collection, so it's constantly at the top of my list that is organized by date, and so it's kind of at top of mind for project roll-ins and things like that. I wouldn't really call it much of a dip going on here, but the quality in here is still absolutely perfect, so I'm going to keep it even though it's coming up on 10 years old. The next oldest is the L'Oreal Infallible pressed like pigment situation. I have the shade Hourglass Beige, which is very beautiful. I just don't really like this type of product and the component that it is in. It is pressed in there, so I use my finger to apply it. It's pretty easy that way. But if I wanted to use a brush, it's quite deep down in this well because it is more of that pigment formula. This stopper here keeps it kind of pressed in so it doesn't fly away or anything, but it just makes it a bit tricky to pick up if you aren't using your finger. And I feel like if someday I were to ever try and actually use this product up, it would be a bit tricky, but I'm glad I did use this and I do enjoy it. Next, I have one of two of my liquid eyeshadows. This is the Ciate London Eye Luster in, I believe I have the shade Cupid. Does it not say on this? I'm pretty sure I have it in my spreadsheet and it's Cupid. It is a like very gold eyeshadow, and I'm on the fence on if I want to declutter this, which I always have been. All over the lid, this is very chunky and I am getting older. I feel like it cracks and really accentuates any texture I have on my eyelids. However, in the past I have used this for a wing or like a graphic liner situation and needing to use a brush with it, and it is very beautiful in that way. So let me know your thoughts. I don't know. I'm teetering on whether I want to declutter this or not. Liquid eyeshadows just are not my favorite for all over the lid, but for like some detail work, I've used this before to create like, you know, like the little polka dots situation you see on Instagram, and it's really beautiful for things like that. But does it deserve a place in my collection long term? I don't know. And then lastly, I did use one of my NYX Prismatic shades in the shade Mermaid, which is this beautiful duochrome like aqua green situation, but it is very sheer. So it's definitely a topper, and I layered this on top of, I had like a light blue color all over my lid, and I put this on top and it was very beautiful. It's just a bit thinner and more sheer than I want, than like, I don't know, what I expect out of my eyeshadows, but it is once again quite beautiful. This might be one of those products. Every year I have a bin that I take around to my family of like makeup that's still perfectly good, but maybe I don't feel like it has a place in my collection, or like I would be fine if it went missing sort of thing, and let my friends and family kind of go through. And if somebody wants it, they can have it. But if someone doesn't want it, then I don't mind using it now and again. That's kind of how I'm feeling about this one and kind of that Ciate shade. But I still have 9 more of those individual shadows to use. And lastly, what I rolled in last month for No Pan Left Behind is my Odin's Eye Merry Christmas palette. This, while it's very Christmassy themed in its packaging, if you ignore the packaging and just look at the shades, this palette is actually quite versatile. I feel like it goes with any season, honestly. It's just that the packaging is very Christmas, and then it's red and green that kind of gives it that Christmassy vibe. But I feel like the greens are really fun for spring and summer, as well as these like really fiery shades at the bottom. So I'm happy to be working on this. I have only used this one time since the last update, and in my look I used the entire second row here, all of these greens plus New Leaf, which is this top right shade. So I've used 5 out of 16 shades so far, so this will be staying in the project. This is just falling to the wayside just because I'm simply working on so many eyeshadows, but this palette is absolutely stunning and I'm really happy to continue working on it. At the end of the video, I will roll in a new palette to replace the ColourPop Smoke and Roses palette, but let's hop into my Project Level Up update. As mentioned, this was created by Sophie Alexandra, and I'm currently working on 2 palettes, one for level 2 and one for level 3. My level 2 palette is the ColourPop Semi Precious palette. I will insert a clip of what this was looking like last month, and then what it is looking like today. I hope you are able to see that I have officially hit pan in the red shimmer shade. That did take me 23 uses total to hit pan, and I used it a lot as a liner And I also had a head start on it because it had a dent in it from depotting the palette. But I'm really happy to have one of my 2 pans. I do have a 30 use goal as well. If I hit 30 uses and don't feel close to pan, I can also roll things out. The other shade I am working on is this like rosy mauve shimmer, which I have used a total of 9 times so far. So this is my next focus shade. This is the shade I'm going to go really hard on to hit pan. I'm going to try for the next update, but I'm not really sure. This also has a bit of a head start. There is a dent in the very edge of the pan, but that's kind of a tricky spot to use the shadow in. Does that make any sense? And mostly I'm using my finger unless I'm using this on my lower lash line. So this might be a 30 use shade, but I am happy to have 1 pan showing in here, but this will be staying in the project. I have, of course, used all of the other shades the 2 times needed. And then in my last update, I decided to roll in my level 3 palette, and that is the ColourPop Mocktail Quad. I will insert a clip of what this looked like last month when I rolled it in. It wasn't brand new, but there wasn't any dips or anything. And this is what the palette is looking like today. Again, my goal with this is to use every shade at least 3 times and hit pan or get 30 uses on 3 of the shades. I really believe that this is going to be a 30 user. Hitting pan in ColourPop mattes especially is very difficult, but this quad pairs perfectly with the ColourPop Kathleen Lights Super Shock Shadow that I'm trying to finish off this year. So I have been pairing those together a lot. As I said, rolled this in last month, so I'm going to talk over my usage. I have used the first shade, this gold, in the shade Iced, 6 times. I've used the shade Shaken 3 times. I've used the shade Chaser 7 times, as well as the deeper matte in Highball 7 times as well. So we still have lots of uses to go. This reddish gold shade competed with the red shimmer I was trying to hit pan on, so I was pairing that red shimmer in the ColourPop Semi Precious palette with the other 3 shades in here most often, and now I'm working on this one too. I did meet the 3 uses, and I might leave it there. We shall see. It might get a few more uses here and there, but I am focusing more on this light gold shade and the 2 warm matte browns. So far, I really like the quality in this quad, and this will be perfect to get me through the summer months. I really love fiery, warm shadows, and this is good, honestly, into September, October as well. Hopefully it doesn't take me that long to hit 30 uses on these shades. So we're only rolling out 1 palette today, the ColourPop Smoke and Roses, which means I'll be rolling a new palette in, and it will automatically go into my no pan left behind portion of this project. If the palette has been in this project before, I will re-roll, and if the palette is currently in another project pan, I will also re-roll. I don't know how up to date my spreadsheet is, to be honest, but let's just see what we get. Ofra Singles, which has been in this project pan before. That was in my introduction, actually, I think. So I am going to re-roll. I wonder if I can do no repeating. This is the ColourPop So Very Lovely palette, which I have recently used quite a few times, but it hasn't been in this project pan, and it's not currently in a project, and it's a wonderful palette for spring, so I'm gonna go grab that. Here is my ColourPop So Very Lovely palette. It is a 12 pan palette with really beautiful shades. I really enjoyed working with this earlier this year. I had this in my last iteration of Oh the Shame, which it's on my list to do another one of those. But as I mentioned, I think these soft colors are going to be really beautiful for this time of year, and it's only 12 shades, so it feels good to get the 30 pan ColourPop palette out of my drawer and roll this one in. I do have a lot of ColourPop palettes, but I am surprised that so many of them have been rolled into this project. But that is everything for this update. My goals before coming back for another update will I tend to film my updates when I have at least one goal met. So I met a no pan left behind goal, and I did hit pan in one of my level up palettes. So taking that into consideration, I think the most likely thing to occur for me to update this project again is to complete No Pan Left Behind on this Odin's Eye palette, and I think that is completely doable. I don't think I will hit 30 uses or pan on any of my level up palettes in the next month, if I'm just being honest, but I think I can focus on this and get this rolled out for next month, and that will be amazing. I would also like to have used a handful more of these single shadows and just keep working through them. About once a week I kind of close my eyes and just like pull one out and then create a look incorporating that, and that seems to be working out really well for me, because or else I just simply don't think to reach for them. I reach for magnetic singles much more often than I do like individually potted singles. Let me know how you are doing on your eyeshadow based project pans, if you are doing any of them. I did go through and track the percentage of my palettes I used in Q1, and I do plan on doing a video for that at some point, even though we are past when that would make the most sense, but here we are. And I think this project is really helping me rotate through my palette collection and touch more of my palettes throughout the year, so I am really excited about that. Even though the Merry Christmas palette, the So Very Lovely palette, like I had reached for those without them being in this project, I still really like this project, and especially doing the roulette wheel, it's just really fun for me. But that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!